everybody. Welcome to Grindcast, the official podcast of and Jason and GrinderWord.com. I am Will, and I'm here with...
And Jason.
And...
Obviously, Matt.
You're damn straight!
So anyway, what we got?
So what we doing?
What we got going on today? We got some...
I didn't realize that I'm now a sole entity.
You are
a part of this.
You are. You're definitely a part of... You're like, you know, it's like and Jason and the Grindcast guys. That's what it is.
I'm just a permanent special guest.
And it's like, it's funny because...
It's like 7 and Jason.
Yeah. It's funny because the and comes before and after your name. So it's the and Jason and the podcast guys.
Did you catch all that?
Guys.
Podcast
It's very
guys.
simple math.
Yeah.
It's like E equals MC Jason.
Energy equals... What?
It's very simple.
Well, we can sit here all day and talk about your importance on the show, but I think we should get into some news.
I don't think we should. I kind of like what you said.
I might just walk out of the room. I feel really awkward right now. Kind of uncomfortable.
Well, that's good. That's the kind of work environment I'm trying to make.
It's about time it gets to that point.
Like when you're sitting in a car with your mom and your niece, and they're talking about lesbian sex. It's uncomfortable.
See, I never had to go through that.
I've had
Because I had brothers, and if they talked about lesbian sex, then it's just regular sex. So, I don't know. That's a weird
Can we
Sunday.
just move it along?
No, I want to talk about this.
I don't.
Real weird.
All right, going straight to news then. First thing on the news docket. It's a docket now.
Mm-hmm. Like
It's where you sit your news before you display it for everyone to see.
Right.
What?
Go on.
What do you
God damn it. Okay, so Take-Two Interactive. Members with Rockstar. Rockstar saw there was this team of modders, they call themselves 5M. They were creating an alternative play space for Grand Theft Auto Online. And Rockstar was not very happy about it, so they decided to send 2 agents from Take-Two Interactive to the lead modder's home. And this is how it went down. From the guy's point of view, he says he gets a knock on his door, he opens the door, there's 2 people standing there. He said they're agents. So I don't know if it's like suits with like the thing in their ears, you know, and they got sunglasses
like
on and shit, you know. But he said they open the door, he opens the door, they proceed to hand him a cell phone that has an anonymous person on the other end warning him to stop all productions or there will be legal matters legal action will be taken. To which then they take the phone back, turn around, and leave.
That is so fucking creepy.
Yeah. So he reported this to the news and everything that this was going on. I think this is fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know, like, how, modding has been around for ages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And like, this is coming off of Rockstar also then suing that, we talked about this a couple episodes. Yeah. Suing the BBC because they were doing something that had...
They illegally tried to use them for a
documentary. Yeah.
Without ever contacting Rockstar, which is kind of insane.
Well, that's stupid.
They're doing it for profit, so that is dumb. These guys aren't doing it for profit, as far as I know. He didn't divulge if they were making any money off of any microtransactions in the world they created or not.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But that's the thing, like, you hear all this from his end of the spectrum. Nobody asks, like, well, what goes on with what you're doing? You know, that question wasn't asked.
He probably wouldn't release that information anyway, because then he'd be fucked.
No. Then the news reporters have to come dressed in suits and hand him a cell phone. And...
That's such an awkward way to do it, too.
This is Ted Koppel.
They can't send a fucking letter to the people's house. No, we need you to be there in person on a cell phone.
It's like, who's there? Hired goons. Oh, it's just hired goons. Okay.
When you send 2 guys, like, how ripped can a modder be in the first place? You know? Yeah, with a cell phone. I wonder if they were armed, too. You know?
They definitely were. Some MP5s.
Yeah. MP5s, and they have, like, fucking Dorito dust all over them, and Mountain Dew soaked into their shoes because they spill it everywhere in the car. Like, because they're extreme. All gamers are extreme, man.
Why are these agents extreme, though?
Because you have to think like a gamer.
In order to stop the gamers, you have to become the gamer.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now.
It's the number one rule of hunting. You got to become your prey.
See, Will doesn't understand that because he's too much of a fancy. I'm sorry, Will.
He wears Tony Hawk t-shirts. He doesn't know how to hunt.
I don't go out and hunt gamers, so I don't get it.
Well, you're missing out.
Yeah. It's fun as hell.
Probably the best thing you can do outside of, just hunting anyone.
You just show up at the door and hand him a phone. And it's like, you're gonna die tonight. I'm so glad you're here to get all my references.
Why not just wake up with the knife pinned to their pillow next to them?
Yeah, the note. You're next. Give him a gorilla mask. Jeez.
Gross.
What is that? Is that too uncomfortable for you? I mean, you can leave if
you
it
went
gets
too far with the gorilla mask.
Yeah, that's too.
That pushed it over the edge for
Not
me.
last week with your like. Well, there are interactive types of media.
I'm just saying there is.
But
I'm here to report on things, not
talking about porn in space. That's not too much.
Yeah.
Well, if there's gorilla masks involved, it's too much.
Zero gravity facials. That's not too much for you.
Just think of the movie that Penny made on Big Bang Theory called Serial Apist. That's probably a real movie.
See, now I'm getting uncomfortable. Now you gotta bring real apes into this. It's terrible, though.
But yeah, fucking the idea that modders are getting this kind of treatment is insane. No one goes to any people that host free servers for MMOs and, like, you guys gotta stop because you're taking away our money.
Like, if that's the case, then Bethesda needs to send 1 million agents over to Japan and shut down all them that were modding for Skyrim, for Christ's sakes. There was billions of communities of people, like, modding Skyrim characters and...
Fucking every second of every day, there's a modder working on some game, regardless of how big it is.
Yeah. As soon as a game's made, they're like, alright, I gotta figure out how to get every one of these characters naked.
I gotta figure out how to turn all these crabs into Zoidberg. That's what I gotta
Yeah. I gotta figure out how to make all the dragons Macho Man Randy Savage. I gotta figure out how to make trains rain from the sky.
That's like, you wake up and it's like on your refrigerator is a honey-do list, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you take out the trash, make all the dragons Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah!
Well, moving on now.
Snap into a sweet roll.
Oh, yeah! So, moving on, we got Ridley Scott. He was just interviewed, and he was talking about his Alien, Prometheus sequels.
Yeah.
Back off a bit.
Yeah.
But he's saying all the sequels are going to now show us the origins of how the aliens were made, which was what he said Prometheus was not tied to in the slightest.
He doesn't even know what the hell's going on anymore.
Well, Prometheus...
He's like 90 years old. He's asleep 90% of the time.
Prometheus pissed me off so much because they said that. They're like, this has nothing to do with aliens. And then what do you see at the very fucking end of the movie? A xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look exactly like a xenomorph normally looks, but it's a black alien-looking creature with an elongated cranium. And Indiana Jones was nowhere nearby there, so it had to be a xenomorph. It wasn't a fucking crystal skull.
God damn that movie.
So these are apparently, it's gonna show us where they came from. Not that anybody cares, because that takes the takes all the mystery out of it.
No,
they were fucking aliens. Like, do you need to know where they came from?
Now, is Blumpkin involved in this? Is Bloomkamp involved in this at all?
This is
not
a
completely separate.
Completely separate. So we're gonna get like a bunch of different alien movies.
It's gonna confuse the hell out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be like one of those like chronologically confused episodes that James Rolfe's going to put out about aliens.
Well, what Bloomkamp wanted to do was he wanted to pick it up after where, I guess, Resurrection left off.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah.
he wanted to try and bring that end of the spectrum back into serious light. Which, at their resurrection, I don't know how the fuck you ever plan on doing that again. And I don't know if Sigourney Weaver would even do it anymore. She's kind of getting up there. I mean, it's just like when Harrison Ford said, I want to be in the next Indiana Jones movie. It's like, can you really, like, do the Indiana Jones stunts that you used to do? Can you hop from train car to train car as it's moving? Can you still slap Hitler in the face? Like,
he doesn't have to be Nathan Drake.
That's exactly what he has to be.
All he has to do is show up, shoot some guy twirling a sword, and go back to his trailer.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot a gun or two. They don't even have to show him with a whip. He can just do like this, and then just put the sound in it. And then so like they pan back at the camera, and the guy's just like, "Oh, you hit me!"
The whole film is just like he's sitting in a wheelchair, but they zoom up real close, so you just assume that he's standing somewhere.
Look here. If they can get Danny DeVito to just crack whips throughout an entire episode of Always Sunny, they can get Harrison Ford to do the same.
Danny DeVito is in much better shape than Harrison Ford.
Out of your fucking mind.
It's more of a circle shape.
He is so svelte and ripped, it's not even funny.
Look here.
He's like Kingpin. He looks fat, but he's all muscle. Fit fat. He's fit fat.
I was about to call him Indiana Jones, but Harrison Ford just crashed the plane just because he felt like it.
He's just like, well, we're going down, folks.
There was no one else in the
plane. That's what I mean. He's just thinking there's other people there. He thinks he's on Air Force One. He's kicking himself off his own plane. Get off my plane. All the people down below are like, there's Harrison Ford.
Not anymore.
He's out there getting ready to tee off. Oh, there goes Harrison Ford.
I picture Harrison Ford's plane has like a picture of him like in the old bomber style, like on the side of the plane with like, it has like the fucking like teeth on it and the shark face. And it's just a round photo of him just like waving.
He crashes the plane, just walks away from it. Clean that up.
Yeah. I've got enough money to buy another one.
Another one?
Five
more.
I was just in Anchorman 2.
He's going to build a plane out of the remains of that plane and 5 other planes he crashed that year. They don't know about the other 4, though.
No.
They were secret. He just crashed his planes for fun.
What were we talking about?
We started a conspiracy off of that one.
What the heck were we even talking about?
We were talking about Ridley Scott.
Prometheus. I was like, it took me a second. I'm like, were we getting somewhere? I don't even know.
We never get anywhere with it.
No, we don't.
So, I also love, like, what they're calling the next one. It's like, Alien. So, like, we're just ditching Prometheus. Alien Paradise Lost, which if you're a person that reads literature at all,
you know about Paradise Lost.
You know about Paradise Lost. So this is kind of like a really weird, like...
so is this supposed to be like the aliens are just like hanging out in paradise and then humans come along and say, fuck you guys, and push it up? Because I hope that's what it is. I will watch it then.
Probably not.
Fuck.
You're giving him way too much credit.
Yeah.
Well, so far the aliens aren't even there yet, so... But these are supposed to, and this is kind of funny because it's like pulling a Star Wars here. These are supposed to flow into like where the first Alien, like their lead up to where the first Alien movie comes in.
So who's the Phantom Menace? So
if like if the alien gets off of a surgical table and screams no at the end of the third movie, I'm going to be fucking mad. No. So that's you have to look forward to that, kids.
This is supposed to come out in 2017?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
I don't even understand.
So, in more movie news, if anybody likes martial arts movies, a couple years ago we were graced with a gem of a martial arts movie called Yip Man. It's very good. Yeah, that's how you really pronounce his name. It was a very good movie. It quickly shot up to one of my favorite martial arts movies of all time. And then the second movie came out. It got a little wacky.
Yeah.
It got a little bit wacky. And now the third movie I think, like, the shark has been jumped by, like, skyscraper lengths because Mike Tyson's going to be in this one. So, which is funny because he fought a boxer in the second movie. So the only thing I can think that they're going to tie this together is that Mike's like, I saw you fought a boxer and won. Why don't you fight Iron Mike? I'm going back in time to fight you. Because I don't know how the fuck that's working anyway.
Oh, god damn it, I want that movie.
They didn't release...
That's the fucking movie I need.
He gets in a DeLorean and goes back to fight.
If it's not a DeLorean, he's not going back in time. That's all there is to it.
Just sit there.
I heard you thought you're a pretty good fighter. You fight the best. I punched that Galganofis in the face.
Oh, Tyson, he just do whatever, man. He just...
I will say, he's pretty dang funny sometimes.
Oh, he is. I like Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Yeah, Mike Tyson Mysteries is actually
I do.
fantastic.
I really enjoy that.
I tried to explain it to somebody earlier by saying, basically the idea is, it's Mike Tyson solving mysteries with a talking pigeon, his adopted Asian daughter, and a ghost.
Yep.
It's like...
Yep.
Oh my god.
And the pigeon's voiced by Norm Macdonald.
It is.
Fuck my life. But, so yeah. You have that movie to look forward to. I don't think it's getting an American release in theaters. I think we're going to get it on DVD.
Yeah. Did we get any of them released here?
In theater?
Because the first time I ever saw it was on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are released theatrically here.
Apparently, it doesn't have it's not slated for a DVD or Blu-ray release in America yet. It is getting a theatrical release in Singapore, China, and that's it. And then Germany is getting a Blu-ray and DVD. Germany loves the Chinese.
It'll come here. I know it will.
And Mike Tyson.
And Mike Tyson.
It'll make its way over here.
Sure. Yeah, it will one way or another. But I just know that like the first time I ever heard of the series was through Netflix.
Yeah. Well, could be one of those things where you just watch the first one. Just as it goes on, you just die a little bit more.
Yeah, you just watch the first one and be happy.
Well, speaking of dying inside, Blink-182's in the news again. What are they doing, Will?
They announced that they're releasing their first 4 albums again on cassette tape.
Because it's cheaper that way for them.
Because why not re-release something on a medium that no one's
dead
using?
medium, yeah. I bet they did a deal with Salvation Armies or something.
I get bands releasing stuff on vinyl, but
yeah, cassette still have fucking
cassette
vinyl.
though, really?
Well, even if you don't have an old record player or anything, you can just buy fucking USB powered record players now for $10.
Yeah.
You know? But a cassette tape, it's just I don't, there's a lot of shit that goes into making that work.
You can't just pop that into, something that you have lying around the house. You have to actually get a fucking cassette player.
I just feel
no one has a Walkman anymore.
Has digital already seen its day already too much that now we're going back to fucking cassette and shit?
Well, it's a combination of things, I think. I think that it's people just buying into nostalgia. And I think it's people who are just it sounds much better in analog format.
Well, they're assholes.
Rarely sounds better. Rarely.
And those are the same guys that say, you can only get a good quality sound out of an amp that was made in the 50s.
Too bad.
Yeah, if you play country and you want twang everywhere. I don't understand. Who the fuck's gonna buy Blink-182 shit anyway on cassette after it's already been on CD for 30 fucking years?
30 years.
Yeah, they've been around before I was alive. Playing music. Dude ranching it up. My point being, Jason, is that their CDs have been...
I wasn't commenting to, put down what you're saying. It's just 30 years, that's hilarious.
Well, I think Dude Ranch... Was Dude Ranch 20 years ago, or was it 15 years ago?
Probably 20. Close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like fucking Blur come around. We're gonna re-release the Song 2 single on tape.
On cassette single.
Yeah. Remember cassette singles?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel cheated with that? Here's $8. Here's one song.
Well, 2 songs. You got a B-side. You got a B-side.
And it was an instrumental. So you could sing along to it by yourself in your room if you wanted to.
Super lonely.
Yeah. There's a lot of super lonely times in my childhood. Parents go on vacation, leave me home alone.
You must have had many a burglars, my friend.
I did. I found out how to keep them at bay, though.
They made 5 movies worth of it.
I had a bunch of Michael Jordan cutouts going around on train tracks.
You may have thought that was Macaulay Culkin. That was Matt Wilson.
Yeah, that was when I had a full head of blonde hair.
see his adventure in New York.
Oh, it was the worst vacation ever.
That was the time you met Tim Curry, right?
He also met Donald Trump.
Yeah. Tim Curry was a dick.
Well, a lot of people have said that.
That's before he was... That's before he got being famous actor. He was working in a hotel.
He also met Donald Trump, who apparently didn't realize that a kid alone in New York was a bad idea. He was just like, hey.
Well, I mean, that's the man I want in charge of my country now. Kids should just be able to run around in New York for whatever they want to do.
As long as Starbucks has a snowflake on their fucking cup, I'll be happy.
Remember when I owned the USFL? No, that's okay.
Yeah. Not getting into that Starbucks thing.
No, there's no reason to. Everybody else is already dead.
Yeah, it's already done. Horse. It's already done.
They've already deadened the beat horse.
So, since we were talking about dead media, Sony released that they finally stopped making Betamax stuff.
That blew my mind.
It's about time. I kept buying them.
It's like, they keep making these. I gotta keep buying them.
Exactly. It's like, I might as well buy 20. These things break like hell.
Well, I did a little bit of research on it, because you had mentioned earlier that you think the only way that this could have been used, because you never saw them for sale anywhere, was for, like, government work.
Yeah.
Well, it was used for archiving. Yeah. They used Betamax for archiving. So, okay. The last Betamax recorder or player was produced by Sony back in 2002. But the fact that Betamax lasted until 2015 as a form of media, it started in 1975. So it's one of the longest running forms of media that we have beyond, like, vinyl records.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, whenever anybody says, like...
Yeah. Well, I'm considering more like... I don't consider books...
hipster, you.
You're considering books media. I'm not really considering it. But not in what I am getting at here.
I'm just fucking with you.
I know you are.
No, but see, with his angle, they're still making Nooks for some reason. So they moved from Betamax to Nooks to record down.
Why are they doing that?
See, whenever anybody says, you know, like, oh, the government was using this for archiving and recording, I picture the fucking scene in Winter Soldier where they go down and it's like all the fucking like analog tape recorders, and there's like a screen of a fucking small glassed German guy just talking to you. It's like, oh, it's welcome. It's like, holy shit. Nobody's been down here for years, but there's still recent recording. Like, I always picture, like, it's under the ground.
Yeah.
It's all dirty and musky. There's, like, that one guy that just wishes he could die. But he's, like, always there.
So the Crusader in...
Yeah. 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 It's that guy. It's like, I'm looking for the Nixon tapes. You must choose wisely. It's right there. It's labeled. It's
labeled.
You chose... wisely. I know I did. Go ahead. Sorry.
You guys have Meteor Man on Betamax?
And it's just like, it pops out. Please return it. I was watching.
Please be kind.
Be kind.
And rewind.
Now, I never owned a Betamax player. I don't know anybody that did, really. I mean, did you guys know anybody that had it? I don't think it was really big around here.
My parents had that Laserdisc shit, and then...
Why?
Well, it wasn't like...
rules on
it was kind of like the poor man's Laserdisc, because Laserdisc was like on actual humongous CDs. This was the one where it was like... It might have been like a vinyl that was inside of a plastic case, and when you put it into the thing, it pulled it out, and then played it. So, I don't know what the fuck they were called.
Did you have Cedar House rules on Laserdisc?
Probably. I know we have Star Wars on those things.
You don't get it, do you?
No.
I'll tell you later.
But, no, I, Laserdisc's another thing from around here that I don't know anybody that ever had it.
Well, nobody went for it.
And I think it was video player discs, I think is what you're thinking of. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, they came in like a plastic shell, like almost looked like a record album. And it was a plastic shell. And when you put it into the player, it would pull the disc out. You couldn't actually get to the disc without putting it into the player.
And it made all these horrible noises the whole time you're watching the movie. You're like, yay, this is great. It's up there like...
It's a cyborg.
So it's dial-up.
It's a cyborg.
Yeah, it's worse than dial-up.
It's a 56K cyborg.
And this is one of those things, like, I bet when this got released, like, this information, that all the conspiracy theorists are out there like, I knew it! The government was still using Betamax!
Well, it's
the most advanced technology we have.
It's so funny. It's like, I'm reading this on Nerdist, and like the guy had some pretty funny lines in there. He's like, who's been buying Betamax in the past 15 years? Did they just forget to tell the one guy that made these in Sony's basement to stop making them? Like, it's just
it's like one day they just come in, they're like, oh shit, Frank! Like kick open the door and they're like running down like it's like all dark. Oh, it's just lit by the door open. It's running, Frank, stop making this. It's like, thank God.
Collapses and dies.
Yeah, it's like he can now die.
Bones fade away.
He already had a note written out, like, in case like, when Betamax finally dies, please give this to my family if I still have one.
It's
like keeping Betamax in production was the only thing tethering him to the world.
Yeah.
He could finally, like, let go
and
have
a job to do. You gotta make sure that job gets done. You stay alive longer.
He's just like, it keeps piling up. He's like, is anybody using this? Why do I have to keep making it?
There's a post on the wall. They may not be buying them, but you're still making them.
His paychecks are piling up in the fucking offices.
Like, who's this guy? Oh, Frank? Yeah, no, some guy from the old days.
You mean employee 3175? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just a glitch in the system.
He keeps getting paid, though. But he doesn't withdraw the money.
He hasn't cashed a single one of these things, though. We keep forwarding him to his home address, and they keep sending him back saying he doesn't live there anymore. I don't know, then.
It just reminds me of that episode of It's Always Sunny with Charlie working in the mailroom.
Yeah.
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia.
His name keeps popping up.
I go up to Carol's office in HR and I say, Carol! There's not a single person in that goddamn office. This whole place is a ghost town, man.
Yeah, we got pink slips weeks ago. I forwarded those to Alaska.
Yeah, they're halfway on their way to Alaska. Not only is everyone that you say doesn't exist real, they've been screaming about their mail for weeks.
They bow.
He's like, give my buddy a cigarette here. He's like, who the hell are you talking to? You've out of your goddamn mind. Oh, that's a good episode. Okay, so we're gonna throw two more in here real quick. Seth Rollins, knee blown.
Yeah. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, who won the belt at WrestleMania. He held it for over 200 days.
Wow.
It's just kind of a big deal. I mean, to hold a belt that long. And he was...
You never let go of the belt?
No, he held it all the time.
Slept with it, showered with it.
Yep. Slept with it. I don't know why I said slept with it, but...
That sounds really, really naughty, Will. Inappropriate.
He slept with it.
There are children listening right now.
So
Dr. Frankenstein?
he blew out his knee doing a spot where he was... like it was like suplexing Kane onto the announce table.
It's always got to be Kane that fucks shit up.
And the fact, I guess he felt a twinge in his knee earlier on in the show, but he went through with the spot anyway, and his knee just went completely collapsed.
Just
exploded. MCL tear, ACL tear, meniscus tear. Basically, he had to have his knee reconstructed. They're saying 9 months.
So he's a cyborg now. Is he going to get his title taken away from him because he has an unfair advantage?
Yes. So, and the funniest thing, or the saddest thing is this actually happened at a house show. So not only did they really not need to do that spot because it was at a house show, the fact that your champion got injured on a show that wasn't even televised, that's really bad.
Oh, I bet McMahon's going to fire him.
Oh, no. Well, there's been a ton of injuries lately. There's just so many guys out with injuries right now.
Well, it's because they're not juicing up anymore.
Yeah, because you got Daniel Bryan's neck injury where he had to give the belt up. You have, I think Rusev tore something in his leg. Randy Orton's hurt.
Well, everybody knows.
These other guys are hurt.
It's notorious that if wrestlers don't do roids. They have bones of glass.
Skin of paper.
Yes,
it's like fucking Samuel Jackson in Unbreakable. They can't do anything.
You can set up things, though, to make other people's lives miserable.
So now this has the WWE scrambling because they plan out pretty far out. They've already pretty much got an idea of who they want at WrestleMania, who they want in these different matches and stuff like that. They get this all planned out ahead of time. So they had a plan, sure, going forward because they have several major shows coming up. They have Survivor Series this month. They have Royal Rumble in January. Mm-hmm. And then they have WrestleMania coming up in March. And so I'm sure they had a plan in place going forward with this, but now it's just like, well, Cena's on a 2-month vacation right now. So unless they get him to come back, I don't think he's going to be involved in this. So they're going to have to push somebody that's never held a title before. And Vince doesn't like doing that too much.
Or it's going to go back to...
It's the greatest.
Because the guy that makes
John Cena
that makes the most sense to give it to right now is probably the worst idea, and that's to put it on Roman Reigns because he's just
I don't even know who that is.
He's The Rock's cousin, who they booed heavily when he won the Royal Rumble last year. In fact, he's one of the reasons why Rollins ended up with the belt in the first place because at WrestleMania they didn't want to have him lose to Lesnar, but they didn't want Lesnar to lose to him. So they had Rollins get involved and cash in his Money in the Bank to win the title.
We need to give it to somebody else that kind of looks like The Rock then.
Yeah.
just give it to Dwayne Johnson. He looks like The Rock.
Yeah, well, Dwayne would show up for 2 shows a year and that would be it.
It's like, I gotta do another disaster movie where I save the world.
The whole world?
The whole world.
Not just San Andreas?
No. Well, isn't that the whole world? So, that's where everything goes bad.
So like I said, they already had a lot of other storylines already established. Now the question is, do you tear up those storylines to write one of those people into the title picture? What do you do? So they're doing a tournament.
His name out and put a random name.
They're doing a tournament where they're having like an elimination style tournament where they're having the first 2 rounds. 1 round was last week. This week is this round. And then the finals are going to be at Survivor Series. So there's a lot of speculation going on right now, but like I listened to Jim Ross's podcast, and he said that really right now the WWE is in a bad spot because no matter what they do, people are going to second guess it because they're stuck. They have to make a quick decision.
Put Ric Flair in them.
That would be a terrible idea. But
it would go over so well. You don't let him win or wrestle. You just have him talk.
Bring Goldberg back.
No. They're not going to bring him back either.
What? He comes out to John Cena's music now.
Everybody
if Goldberg came out to John Cena's music, yes, put the belt on him right now. But I can see him doing a thing where they just pick a guy that you would not see as a main event guy,
Carlito,
and just throw the belt on him for a couple of months just to have what they call a transition champion. Mm-hmm. And they've done that stuff in the past. And it gives the guy a little bit of time with the belt. And if he does well with it, great. Then you can use him in the future. And if not, he drops it to somebody else who's coming back off of injury or vacation, John Cena. And, he just kind of fades back into the mid card. So I don't know what they're going to do yet, but it's just crazy. This is the second time in 2 years that the WWE have had their heavyweight champion have to give up the belt because of an injury.
Right. Well, we're going to exit out of news now and go right into request topics and go right back into wrestling. I did want to say one that I hope everything goes okay for the guy, because if he got cheated out of it, that kind of sucks. But I just hope he doesn't come back and McMahon's like, put an egg in your shoe and beat it,
Yeah.
That's rude.
Well, he's done it before.
What if he's allergic to eggs?
Oh, well,
he has done it
what
before,
else can
though.
you beat?
If guys...
like an egg.
If guys that
like
come back and they don't come back quite right from injury.
Be a tree and leave.
He's, his surgery is done by James Andrews, so at least he had a good surgeon, so...
Is he good? I don't know.
He's the world's premier surgeon for orthopedic surgeries.
Oh, I gotta go check him out then.
Yeah, he does a lot of surgeries for baseball players and football players.
I'll hire him. See if he can fix all of this from head to toe. Just walk in. It's like, what can you do about all of this? Can you make it better? Can you?
The people at home are listening to this right now. They're going like, what's he pointing at?
What's wrong with him? I'm like, no, head to toe. Just fix all of this. Okay, so into the request topics. This was brought from a good friend of ours, Chris Finnerty. Mm-hmm. I know him.
You know him.
He's a friend of ours. We know him. I don't know him, but I know of him.
He's in the minor circuit as well.
Yes, he actually is.
LCW.
He wrestles in the Indies. Cool.
Yeah. He wanted us to talk about Undertaker tombstoning a guy in a turkey suit on Jimmy Fallon, the worst fucking talk
Tonight show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't say he's the worst.
No, but Conan should have got that fucking spot over him or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that was all fucked when that happened. When that went.
You tell me, like, Jimmy Fallon's funnier than Conan. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And now stuff's coming out that Jimmy Fallon has a drinking problem, and that's a whole other ballgame.
Who cares if he has a drinking problem? Might make him fun.
Did you watch Jurassic World? That fucking little scene where he's like, the computer, he was ripped as shit doing that, I can guarantee you.
Jimmy Fallon's in that movie?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that movie.
It's just like for 5 seconds, but it's just
It's
like,
too long.
God damn it. So, yeah, sorry.
So, Taker, tombstoning, a guy in a turkey costume. The guy in the turkey costume was Brad Maddox. He was a wrestler at one time. He also did some referee stuff. He was the general manager of Raw for a while.
Wrestling nerd.
And now he's pretty much just
You're a
works
comic
behind the
nerd.
scenes. I guess he does some house show stuff. But I found it so funny, not just because of the fact that he's tombstoning a guy in a turkey costume, because I kind of get a little bit of an inside joke here, because, and I hope that Chris appreciates this, because I heard he's a big wrestling fan, and a wrestler
really
himself, is the fact that it kind of like goes back 25 years ago to SummerSlam, Survivor Series, in 1990, where the WWE or WWF at the time were building up this big reveal at Survivor Series around a giant egg. And the rumor at the time was that Vince McMahon had just hired a man named Mark Calloway. And his idea was to bring him in and make him the Eggman. He was just going to be this tall guy, tall, bald guy that was just going to just destroy everybody.
Dr. Robotnik. Yeah.
And Vince is like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And finally, he came to his senses and gave Mark the Undertaker gimmick, which he has gone on to just make. I mean, nobody knows him as Mark anymore. It's Taker. No. Yeah. They've known him as that for 25 years
Mr.
now.
Taker to you.
So now they're here with this egg, and they don't know what to do with it. They can't just pretend it didn't happen, although Vince loves doing that.
Yes, he does.
So they're like, okay, we have to do something with it. So what was in that egg? A man dressed in a turkey costume. It was Hector Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero's uncle. Dressed in a turkey costume, and they called him, and I quote, the gobbledygooker. And the gobbledygooker basically busted out of the egg, and he just kind of strutted around making like turkey motions, I guess. And that was pretty much the end of it. And we ended up with the Undertaker. So thank God we didn't get the Eggman, because I don't think he would still be around 25 years later. But I still feel bad for Hector Guerrero that he had to do that.
Yeah. I wonder if he had like a flashback when he was tombstoning that guy. And then it's like, this was almost my fate.
But at least he wouldn't have been in a turkey costume.
Now I just kind of look like Brainiac. It does. Like, when we watched that video, I'm like, and Jason was right. It's like, it looks like his brain is trying to escape his skull.
Fucking head. Because when they first bring him out, they have all the lights really fucking dark, so he just looks terrible. Mm-hmm. Like, you get no definition on his face. When the lights come back up, he looks like he's supposed to, but like with the lights down, it's just...
Well, yeah, because it's like, you see all the bumps. He just looks like a topographical map of like the fucking like mountains over in the west.
He's been up and down a few roads, man. Yeah, he's been in a few wars.
It's pretty rough. But... I mean, yeah, he was riding motorcycles for a while. He had a yard that nobody could go in.
It's true.
Yeah, rough life. But I just think it's I don't like. I'm happy at the same time because somebody's like acknowledging that Thanksgiving's a holiday.
It's more than just a parade with
like,
Snoopy in it.
God damn it, it's about time. Now, if there was a float where the Undertaker continuously a guy in a turkey costume through the whole thing. That would be freaking amazing.
Every 10 seconds, he just picks him up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm dying.
When they get to that stop point in front of, like, Macy's, then they actually have, like, a match where they wrestle each other for a little bit, and then Undertaker, like, sings a pop song, and then it, like, takes off down the road again.
It can't be a pop song from, like, the 80s.
He sings
2015 pop song.
Yeah, he sings Ace of Spades, and then it leaves.
I just love the fact, like, at the end of the video, like, Jimmy Fallon, like, turns to him and Taker's, like, still, like, in his scowl face, like,
why the fuck are you over here?
He's like, why am I here?
No, that was the where's my check face.
Where's the money, Fallon?
Where's my money, Fallon? Come on, funny man, pay up.
I've been here 25 years.
Just waiting backstage for this stupid fucking joke.
Yeah, I wonder, like, what he had to prep himself for with that. I mean, I'm sure he had to spray baby oil all over himself and his hair and everything, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm gonna go on Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show and tombstone a fucking turkey.
The only thing that would have made that better, the only thing that would have made that better is if, like, Ric Flair came out and, like, took his suit jacket off and threw it down and, like, threw his shoes into the audience and started, like, dropping elbows on his suit jacket.
That'd be better.
And, like, nobody expected him to be there. He just came out and did that.
I agree with that, but I think it'd be better if he threw all that stuff off and then put Jimmy in a fucking figure 4 leg lock on top of his suit jacket.
Legit.
Yeah, like breaking his fucking legs.
Like literally, like
he's
tweaking his
out.
knees.
He won't let him out. There's no ref.
He blows out Fallon's knees.
This is what happens when mines go down.
Tell me this isn't real, Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon's legs were ripped off today.
Flair's just there, like, yelling, tap out, Steamboat, tap out. And it's like, my name's not Steamboat.
Fallon's legs were ripped clean off. He looked like an action figure that had its legs ripped off. He just had giant gaping holes where his thighs should be.
Liquor pouring from his holes.
Liquor. He was so drunk at the time he didn't feel it.
You know what's going to happen? None of this stuff about him drinking a lot is going to be true. He's going to call us out on the show, and these asses are going to be like,
he's going to come to my house. He's going to be like knocking on the door. He's going to say a joke and laugh at his own jokes. I'm like, you're not funny.
He's going to box you.
Good. I hope he cleans the floor with me.
Why do they ball in low tax?
Because you're fucking not existing. You're not existing.
I'm right here, Mr. Ball.
Right here, Mr. Ball.
I've worked for the last 10 years.
Oh my god. Alright, and then we have one more from Justin that he gave us. It was the clip-on man bun.
Oh, fuck. I can't.
For the man that can't grow his hair.
I think Will's the only one in here that could maybe pull off because he's got longer hair than any of us. But
you should buy one of those clip-on.
What am I going to clip on to?
Your flesh.
I mean, if anything, I would actually look like a real samurai then, because a lot of them cut their hair shorter and then kept a long ponytail or a bun like knot. That. Yeah. But... And you knew shit like this was coming.
I know, that's
because it's not like hair extensions haven't been around forever. Mm-hmm. So, there was going to be, which basically you could have just sold a fuck. I bet it's just like a yarmulke with hair glued on it. So that's what it looks like in the pictures. Like when the guy puts it on his head, it looks. And that's the other thing. Like, what are the variety of colors that this is going to come in? Because how are you going to match your hair perfectly enough so it doesn't look obvious?
You dye your hair.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's a really big step just to be fucking trendy. But I know people out there will do it.
I'm about to say, have you been to the real world?
No. There's more outside of the front door of my house.
Look how they go, oh, it's scary.
Don't go out there, it's scary.
Halloween did just pass.
Yeah.
It did. Spooktober.
There it goes.
Bye! Bye, Spooktober. Can't wait to see you again someday. I see this stuff and it makes my soul sink. Holy shit! I hope that picked up on the microphone.
If it doesn't, you're just gonna be yelling.
He is blowing a fucking trumpet out there.
Oh,
you all right? You better?
Your fucking pets are just crashing
Covered in snot? Is that what you get?
My allergies don't usually get this bad.
Yeah, why did you roll your pets in pollen? I don't understand.
I collect at the beginning of spring and save it.
Just for special occasions.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, do I miss allergy season? Every time that I just open a jar and just shake it around in the house.
I just roll them in pollen and feed them ragweed.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
All right, well, that's it for request topic.
We're not going to continue talking about dumbass
No,
man
it's fucking,
buns?
it's soul sucking, it's horrible, and if you do it, you're a dick. I think that pretty much sums it up, right?
You say so.
All right. Well, if you have something to say, then say it.
I think you're dumb.
Mr. Buzzed Hair.
I think you would look good in one, Jason.
Yeah, you probably look smashing.
God, these are fucking so goddamn stupid.
Smashing.
This guy doesn't look like he tried to put it on properly. He's wearing a fucking suit with it.
Well, that's what you do.
What?
You have a full, brawny man beard with a man bun in a suit. That's the
Why
look.
is it doing this? It's a gift that I didn't know was a gift.
Is this?
I was looking at that guy first. With this stupid fucking gift.
Oh, that's fucking great. That gif is great. It's like cycling through all the worst ways you could wear one.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, that's enough for
That
man
kid looks
buns.
smug as fuck.
Well, yeah, he looks like, what the fuck? Like, why are we doing this? All right, so I got a discussion topic. And this goes back to Take Two sending Agent Smith out and knocking on that guy's door. Do you think game modding is something that should be done up by, permissible contracts? Like when you have to ask for permission to use game footage on YouTube to monetize and all, that kind of thing.
See, if you're not monetizing it at all, if there's no money made at all, I don't understand why people have such a big fucking deal with it.
All right, well, what if you made something that you put your time and hard-earned money? Say, somebody starts, coming on, hacks our YouTube account and starts putting all of our videos out as them, and they're making money off of it.
No, like I said, if they're not.
Okay, well, if say they're not making money off of it.
Then I don't
But
give a
they're
shit.
getting more of the...
We're still getting recognized. People, if you're modding Skyrim, and people want to play your mod, they still have to get Skyrim.
Unless you illegally download it.
That's going to happen, but you get what I'm saying. People still have to get the game. They still know about the company. You're not giving money to these other people just because they're making a mod. It's just like when Steam was like, oh yeah, we're going to start having modders get paid for what they're doing. That fucking died real quick.
Well, yeah.
It's just a dumb idea.
I don't think companies are going to want to deal with that. I don't.
Oh yeah, they definitely won't.
They're not going to get all these submissions we would like to mod a version of your product, sir, and they're just be like, we're not even listening. You're going to do whatever you're going to do anyway. So
yeah.
Did you record me calling Konami? I was like, hello, Mr. Konami.
Mr. Konami.
You think, people are going to be like, because there's obviously hundreds of people that are going to be like, I'm modding this game to make all the female characters have gigantic breasts, be naked, and just constantly jiggling all the time.
Oh, so like DOA.
Yeah.
Okay.
But companies aren't going to just allow that to happen. People are still going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was the end of the show then.
No, what do you say? I mean, where's your point on this?
I don't know anymore.
You don't know.
Do you feel that companies are going to be like,
I had a point, and then Jason raised his voice, and I got white scared. And it's gone now.
Because I can kind of see the idea of a company hiring people to make, oh, this is a X company's licensed mods for this game.
Right.
Which would kind of be like them selling more microtransactions.
Right.
But I don't see them having to require, individuals.
Well, see, here's the thing. There was, and this happened not that long ago. There was, the guy who made Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It was very popular. A lot of people made spin-off games of that. But some of them even went as far as being lazy about it that they actually used the same models, the same floor layouts, basically everything, but they just, wrote a different story for it.
Yeah.
But they used almost the exact same fucking game. Now, he went out and said, I don't care, basically giving the permission that you can use whatever the hell you want, and blah, 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 blah. But there was, I forget what game it was. It was another indie developer, but he made a game, and people were doing the same thing. They were using all the same texturing, floor map outs, they were using the same character models and all that, and he went after them. Because he's like, you can be a fan of a game and make a version of it that you want, but you can make your own version and not use all the basic materials that I slaved over to make this game for you. And the game was a free game too.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something I could see. Like if you're trying to bust out of something, and then it's just that easy to steal all of it with no repercussion. I don't know. It feels like to me like there has to be some kind of gray area somewhere that there, it can't just be this free reign, like,
it's the Wild West.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's what the internet is, though.
You're kind of making, like, just talking about this topic just kind of makes me think of reproduction cartridges and how people take these old ROMs and they mod them, they ROM hack them or whatever it's called. And then they take it and they burn it onto an EEPROM and then they put it in a cartridge and then they sell it for like $75.
Yeah, I don't think that's right either, though.
It's not right.
No.
It's not right at all. I mean, I can understand if the company that originally produced that no longer exists, but, like, I know that I'm really shocked that Nintendo doesn't go after
I was just going to say that, like...
putting up cartridges of Star Fox 2. Yeah, the game was never released, but that's still Nintendo's property.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, even people that are making, like, Zelda sequels for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or other Mario games for the Nintendo, they're selling, and it's even in the same cartridges.
There's actually a giant community that does nothing but hack and remake old Zelda games.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, it's cool to have something that's a continuation, but sell it fairly, even. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be that asshole that steals somebody's already finished work and make your own out of it, which, I mean, I guess you're not an asshole, but if you're going to be that guy and you want to make money off of it, be fair about it, though. Don't make a game with old technology and sell it for more than it was back then new. I mean, I understand it probably costs a lot to do the plastic production of the cartridges and all this stuff, unless...
Well, a lot of them are just...
Well, yeah, they just hollow out old ones.
They're just taking all, like, Madden 94s and emptying them out and putting Chrono Trigger on them.
Okay, well then at that...
Sorry, GameStop.
Yeah. At that rate, then, like, yeah, that's shitty. And, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they're, like, I'm not saying, like, every time you go to make a game, you need to be, like, asking for this permission and all that, but I just think there's gotta be something there to keep the artistic integrity of the guy who created it valid.
Yeah. But you have to think about it this way as well. Steam has the Source engine, and a lot of their games are basically mods of their own games.
Yeah, but that's Steam telling those guys that's fine.
No, I'm saying Steam is selling modded versions of Steam games.
Well, okay. Well, I'm thinking Steam...
I find really fucking ridiculous. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck's it called? Portal.
Yeah.
Is on the same engine as Half-Life. Yeah. Same engine as Left 4 Dead. Same engine as Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But...
Well, it's like those programmers that used Unreal to create, like, Mario 64 on Unreal or whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing that's kind of cool about these people doing these mods and stuff is that some of them do end up getting noticed and get hired on by the
Resident Evil 2 mod.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, like, it's just, but that guy wasn't making that to make money, though. No, he was making that to be like, look at what you could do with what's out now.
Right. He was doing it as a homage to the game that he
was
loved.
A fan of the game. Yeah. I don't know, like, I agree with you. If you're doing it to be a fan and you're not doing it to make money off of it, cool. But if you're, like, with this guy...
asshole, just like, look, I made this mod that added, like, barely anything. It's the same game, except now you look like this. Like a reskin, and I want you to pay me $20. You're an asshole.
Yeah. Well, like, and that goes back to that topic with that guy that they went from his group called 5M or whatever. If you named your company, basically, if you're naming your group as if it's a company... they're fucking charging something.
Right.
They have to be. So, I find Rockstar has a right to go in there and be like, no, stop. You're using our texturing, you're using our designs, you're using our fucking characters, you're using basically the same code that we lay out to keep everything in the map so it doesn't fall through the floor and everything. You can't do this without our permission. Like, that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. If everybody on YouTube has to go through this ridiculous hoop to play a game and make money off of it for somebody to just watch it and enjoy it, I think the same thing should happen to a mod community if you want to make money off of it.
Absolutely.
That's just my thought on it.
Absolutely, but I just don't see the companies even dealing with it.
No, because they're getting an overflux of people calling in, like, can I make a video off of this now as it is? Yeah. And believe me, I know, because I've sent emails upon emails to people, and I still haven't gotten fucking replies back. I've gotten I gotten numbers of places I'm supposed to call with no callbacks.
At least you've done your due diligence, though.
Yeah, I'm trying, but all of our videos that are for video gaming, I don't monetize off of because I'm not doing it until I get permission. That's just my golden rule. I don't know.
Well, it's smart legally.
Plus, I don't want to have to get strikes against the YouTube channel, and then I have to take a stupid survey, making me feel like a retarded 5-year-old.
Would you like to take a survey? Do you like beans? Do you like George Wendt? Would you like to watch a movie about George Wendt eating beans?
Oh, my God. Well, that's going to end the show today. As always, I want to let you guys know that you can find us on grindcast.libsyn.com. You can find us on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/grindedword. You can like us on Facebook at grindedword, and you can find us on Twitter at biggrindedword.com. As always, everybody, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.